Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Stay same pitch. Don't change the pitch. You're going way up, okay? So musically, I'm leading, so don't change it, okay? Don't change to another pitch, okay? Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari And put it up here. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Sri Radha Madhava Ki Haribo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Hare Krishna. It's a pleasure to be here again with all of you wonderful, vibrant devotees. English is okay? All right. Because I know a little Dutch, I know a little French. Let's stick to English. Okay. Today we're looking at 7th canto, chapter 14, ideal family life. Yeah, ideal boys, girls, together. Haribol. Ideal family life. Text number 6. Is that right? Some bugs are coming. Oh, yes. Can I see you? Okay, it's the up-to-date one.
Hare Krishna. So today we are very fortunate that we have with us His Holiness Bhakti Marga Swami Maharaj. So I'd like to briefly introduce Maharaj. So Maharaj, earlier name was John Peter Bis, is also known as Bhakti Marga Swami, was born on October 5, 1952 in Chatham, Ontario, Canada. From an early stage of life, Maharaj developed a deep interest in Krishna consciousness. While studying fine arts in college, Maharaj encountered a group of Hare Krishna devotees, and that was very influential on Maharaj's life. Maharaj studying the books of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and these books completely transformed Maharaj's life from the pop culture and material life. Inspired by these teachings, Maharaj moved into an ISKCON temple and embraced monastic life. Maharaj was initiated in 1973, and from that moment, Maharaj never looked back. In 1984, Maharaj formally accepted sannyas, and over the years, Maharaj has served in various capacities, including a cook, bhakta leader, temple president, Sankirtan book distributor, and a Kirtan leader. Along with all these services, Maharaj has also written and directed various theatre dramas, vividly portraying stories from ancient epics. And during the centennial celebration of Srila Prabhupada, he undertook a remarkable walking marathon across Canada, completing 4 such walks. Later he extended these pilgrimages throughout United States, Ireland, Israel, Netherlands, Guyana, Trinidad, Mauritius and Fiji. Maharaj is also the author of the book The Saffron Path, which documents these pilgrimages, and Maharaj has also completed 2 volumes of poetry titled The Walking Monk, Poems Part 1 and 2. Currently he is producing music projects to promote Krishna consciousness, and he is also the co-founder of a men's retreat called Mantra. In his own words, Maharaj reflects life is not a chore but a play to be
Chore.
Life is not a chore but a play to be acted out in service to others. So we are very fortunate to have with us Maharaj today in Shri Radha Kunja Bihari Mandir. So I'd like to welcome Maharaj by one time loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Maharaj.
So we just don't have a purport to this verse. Should I just read this and go to number 6? Okay, Hare Krishna. We have a real treat. Okay, so we're looking at text number 6 just briefly, and then we're going to zip over to text number 7 because it has a nice purport. Is that okay with everybody? No problem? Okay. I'm just going to read it in English, number 6. An intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying, "Yes, that is all right. Very good." I put that very good in there. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. Hare Krishna. Text number 7. Divyang bonam chant Hare Krishna Vitam achuta nirmitam Tat sarvam upayunjana Etat kuryat svato buddhaha. We'll ask somebody on this side to do it, and then somebody on that side, and this side, and that side, like a ping pong game. Okay? All right, so. Divyam bonam chantariksham Vitam achuta nirmitam Tat sarvam upayunjana Etat kuryat svato buddhaha. Divyam bonam chantariksham Vitam achuta nirmitam Tat sarvam upayunjana Etat kuryat svato buddhaha. Whoa. Vitam achuta nirmitam Tat sarvam upayunjana Etat kuryat svato buddhaha. Divyam bonam chantariksham achuta nirmitam Tat sarvam upayunjana Sat kuryat svato buddhaha. Bonam chantariksham Sat sarvam upayunjana Ekat kuryat svato buddhaha. Quickly. Divyam bonam chantariksham Sarvam upayunjana Etat kuryat svato buddhaha. We had twins there. Divyam, easily obtained because of rainfall from the sky. Bhaumam, obtained from the mines and the sea. Cha, and antariksham, obtained by chance. Vitam, all property. Achyuta nirmitam, created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tat, those things. Sarvam, all. Vayunjana, utilizing for all human society or all living beings. Etat, this maintaining body and soul together. Kuryat, one must do. Swataha, obtained of itself, without extra endeavor. Buddhaha, the intelligent person. Translation. The natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the bodies and souls of all living entities. The necessities of life are of 3 types: those produced from the sky, from rainfall, from the earth, from the mines, the seas, or the fields, and from the atmosphere, that which is obtained suddenly and unexpectedly. Please repeat. The natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the bodies and souls of all living entities. The necessities of life are of three types. Those produced from the sky, from rainfall, from the earth, from the mines, the seas or the fields, and from the atmosphere, that which is obtained suddenly and unexpectedly. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay. All right. We won't look at the purport. We are going to read it together. I'll charade it out. Is that okay? It's fun. It's interactive. Trust me. Scout's honor. Okay. Okay, purport. We living entities No. We living entities in different forms are all children of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 14:4. Do you know it? Sarva yonisha kaunteya murateya sambhavantiya tasang brahma mahadyonir aham vidya pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the Father of all living entities in different species and forms. One who is intelligent can see that all living entities in the 8,400,000 bodily forms are part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and are His sons. Everything within the material and spiritual worlds is the property of the Supreme Lord. Why are you doing it? Why can't they stop it? I'll do this if you want, but we'll just read through it then. No problem. Okay, let's see. Okay. Everything within the material and spiritual worlds is the property of the Supreme Lord. Ishava Shamidam Sarvam. And therefore everything has a relationship with Him. Srila Rupa Goswami says in this regard, Prapachakataya buddhya hari sambani vastunaha mumukshibi parityago vairagyam palgu katyate. One who rejects anything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is incomplete in his renunciation. And that's from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-256. Although Mayavadi philosophers say that the material creation is false, actually it is not false. It is factual. But the idea that everything belongs to human society is false. Everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for everything is created by Him. All living entities, being the Lord's sons, His eternal parts and parcels, have the right to use their Father's property by nature's arrangement. As stated in the Upanishads, Tena Tyaktena Bunjita, Mangrida Kushasviddanam. Everyone should be satisfied with the things allotted him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one should encroach upon another's rights or property. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Anad bhavanti bhutani parajanyad anasambhavaha. Yagyad bhavati parajanyo yagya karma samudbhavaha. All living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. 3:14. When food grains are sufficiently produced, both animals and human beings can be nourished without difficulty for their maintenance. This is nature's arrangement. Prakrite kriyamanani kunai karamani sarvashaha. Everyone is acting under the influence of material nature, and only fools think they can improve upon what God has created. The householders are specifically responsible for seeing that the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are maintained without fighting between men, communities, societies, or nations. Human society should properly utilize the gifts of God, especially the food grains that grow because of rain falling from the sky. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yagyad Bhavati Parajanyaha. So that rainfall will be regulated, humanity should perform yagyas, sacrifices. Hare Krishna. 10 push-ups. Yagyas were previously performed with offerings of oblations of ghee and food grains. But in this age, of course, this is no longer possible, for the production of ghee and food grains has diminished because of the sinful life of human society. However, people should take to consciousness and chant mantra as recommended in the Shastras. Yagyai Sankirtana Prayair Yajantihi Sumedasaha. If people throughout the take to the consciousness. Give me an M. Movement, thank you. Who said movement first? See, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. And they chant the easy sound vibration of the transcendental name and fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There will be no scarcity of rainfall. Consequently, food grains, fruits, and tea, flowers, will be properly produced, and all the necessities of life will be easily obtained. Grihastas, or householders, should take the responsibility for organizing such natural production. It is therefore said, Tasyaiva hetu pratetako vittaha. An intelligent person should try to spread consciousness through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And all the necessities of will automatically follow. Hare Krishna. I'm going to take this off. There's too many bugs coming out of it. Is that okay? Would somebody like to have some ants? Okay. All right. This chapter is entitled as Ideal Life, and so we're talking about the things that nature provides. Rather, Krishna provides. A lot of people nowadays have taken to atheism. They don't want to believe in a supreme person, but they do believe in nature, at least that, okay? People say, I believe in nature, I'll worship nature. That's where some people are going. Okay, Haribol, fine, fine. Nature, when you look at, we're encouraged to look at nature. In chapter 8, chapter 10, chapter 11, from Bhagavad Gita, we're supposed to see that a shark is a representation of God, right? We're supposed to see that drinking water. This is the water, right? Rasoma Apsakondeya, right? This is a representation of, this is God, water is God. How about the sun? And how about the moon? Yeah. How about Om? Yeah, that's like the sounds in the city. And when you go to the fields, it's in reverse. The cows and bulls go moo. It's opposite, Om. It's opposite to Om. Okay, so that nature's providing so many things. Anad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anasambhava. And it doesn't matter where you go in the world, people are eating, food, anna. Sometimes it's referred to as grain, right? Like in the south. Are we in the south? We are. We're in the south of India, right? Sort of in the middle? We're in the middle. Madhya Pradesh? Whatever. West. Oh, we're west. Okay. You mean you're like a western people? The wild, wild west? Okay, so anyway, rice, wheat, quinoa now, corn, maize. Where I come from in North America, the indigenous people had corn. They actually had corn. Even in northern, like Canada, which is north, the ladies, the women, they have what's called the three sisters. They grow corn. Stalk would go up, maybe 10 feet. Then beans. They crawl around the corn plant. And then squash, or what you call pumpkin here, around. 3 different items. Vegetarian, vegan, and in this way what they call the 3 sisters. And that's how they survived for a good part of the time. They could preserve some of these things even in the winter. But the point is that everywhere people depend so much on grains. The beautiful thing about grains is that it heats up your body, doesn't it? Unless if it's rice. So if you live in the south, you want to lower your temperature. So rice lowers. But if you live in the north, wheat heats up your body. Who thought of that? That's God, isn't it? Isn't it Krishna who's arranging? And when it comes to the family, we have a perfect family. Sarva yonu shikundeya, ahang bija pradapita. Krishna is the seed-giving father of all living beings. All 8,400,000, species of life. Of course, those figures don't actually compute with the scientific world, but let's say it's 8,400,000 divisions, okay? Like, there's many, many more species. So many. Like that garland I was just wearing, there were at least 8,400,000 different bugs on that garland that I took off. I felt every one of them. So when you talk about family, everyone's so eager to talk about Mother Nature. What happened to the father? So, it's too feminist, or let's say it's too sexist. You can't do that. You have to acknowledge both, the seed giver and also the one who receives the seed and becomes the fertile soil for things to grow. I mean, one nice thing about being here in India, you can grow almost anything, right? Now you can grow avocado. You know what avocados are? Oh my God, my weakness. If there's no avocados in the spiritual world, I'm not interested in going there. Avocado with a little black salt on it, oh my God, it's to die for. Yeah, you get all kinds of different things. And you don't have it here, but I recently just came from Guyana and Trinidad and Suriname, and they have something called breadfruit. Are you familiar with it? It looks a little like jackfruit on the outside, but oh, that is so yummy. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing. We've got to start importing, breadfruit here. I'm telling you, anybody want to start a business? That's it. Start that business, grow some breadfruit, be a farmer, wear a cowboy hat, suspend whatever, and make a lot of money, because it's not here, right? So what I capture from this verse and the purport is that it's a very holistic approach to life. There's something for everyone. And did you notice that body and soul together? When I was on my first walk across Canada, I came to a place called Collingwood in Ontario. It's on one of the Great Lakes. Population, maybe 20,000 people. That's cute, like Victorian buildings all along a lake, blue lake, white sands, no salt, no sharks. Come on over. So anyways, when I was there, my support person went ahead and went to the 2 newspaper places in town. So it just so happened that where I was walking, the 2 reps, each from a different newspaper, came to where I was, and they both were asking. Those are the days of pen and paper. Do you remember that? Pen and paper? Yeah. Demonstrate, so people won't know. We don't know. This is paper. This is a pen. Okay? Before the devices came. And they asked a lot of questions. Why are you walking? And I said, I'm walking for the spiritual healing of the nation. And when did you start? And how many kilometers do you do every day? I was doing 42 kilometers every day. And they asked all kinds of questions. So one of them says, yeah, well, listen, tell me frankly, aren't you here to convert people? And then the other fellow said I was going to ask the same thing. Aren't you here just to convert people to your way of thinking? And my answer was, and I'm sincere about this, I said, it doesn't matter to me what you are already following, as long as you're on a spiritual path. The main thing is that we need to balance our physical and spiritual selves together. It has to be a marriage. How many people believe in marriages? How many people believe in marriages? Some people are going. How many people believe that marriage is a good thing? Even the brahmacharis, marriage is a good thing? Maybe not for brahmacharis. Like, I never got married, so don't feel bad, Marriage is a good thing for most people. It's men are from Mars, women are from Venus, they're opposites, they attract each other, they complement each other. And when they complement each other, they have something called children. So I'm just mentioning it now because we live in a world that is against children. I wrote a poem, More Vaishnavas, or More Children, Dear Vaishnavas, that's what it's called. We need to have more babies, It's natural, Like condoms don't live on trees. They don't come from trees like oranges and bananas, This came from a tree. Condoms don't come from pills. They don't grow on trees. They don't come in an oyster like, in a clam, So I think we're living very unnatural lives, and the Bhagavatam is all about natural lifestyles. Believing in a higher power is a big part of it. Believing in the Supreme Father, Supreme Mother. And then, there's marriage, but there's a lot of people against it. They're very active sexually, but they are not producing. Underproduction in the so-called developed world devil up. Did you pick up on that? Devil-upped world. They're just not having enough babies, right? So then they bring immigrants in, and the immigrants help to, take care of the balance, and then they complain, oh, they're taking away all our jobs. You got to send them back. Well, let's look at how the world has been created. It's created for production, if the trees can produce fruits, and from the ground we get flowers and we get herbs and all kinds of mints and all kinds of things for making chutneys and all that. And then things also come from the sky, the rain, the snow. In Canada we have snow. It's pretty rain, that's what it is. It's rain that looks pretty. And but it turns into water, like it's good water. Just like you have up north in the Himalayas. It's snow. It looks like ice cream. It's beautiful. And all of these are absolute necessities for our well-being. After all, we have to depend on what's around us for our survival. Jivo jivasya jivanam. You've heard that phrase before. It's in the Bhagavatam. Jivo jivasya jivanam, like one living entity eats another one to survive. Don't get any ideas. Anyways, I'll tell you a funny joke. No, this is true. One of my favorite jokes is this one. I'll tell you a joke and then some realization. One of my favorite jokes is about two cannibals. And one cannibal, the question is, what did the one cannibal say to the other cannibal that showed up late for dinner? Right? You got the question? And the answer is, everyone's eaten. I was at a friend's house and we were looking at National Geographic magazines. Do you know that National Geographic? Oh, it's so good. It's the best. After Back to Godhead magazine, I think it's the best. And so I looked at one that came from the 40s. He had such an old stash from the 40s. And I pulled it out. And there was an article there about New Guinea, where people are traditionally headhunters. They eat flesh, okay? So they had a picture of one guy who has eaten human flesh. He looked kind of gross, And they had a quote from him. He said, I've eaten a man and I've eaten a woman. They taste the same. So in that regard, we are the same. But we're also different. This is called Achincha Beda Beda Tattva. Simultaneously one and different. Right. So the world is a wonderful place, supplying all the necessities of life. One of my favorite verses from the Bhagavad Gita also is in chapter 3, where it talks about food. And along with food is something called swaha, sacrifice. Saha yagya praja shrishva. So Krishna's talking about, along with the creation of men and demigods, comes yagya, sacrifice. That's where we're missing. People are forgetting how important it is to perform yagya, sacrifice. Of course, the topmost sacrifice for this day and age is Sankirtan Yagya, which is meant for intelligent people. Sumedasaha. Intelligent people will get together and sing and dance, isn't it? Let's say unfortunate people, they don't sing and dance. I've noticed the people that are unhappiest, they don't sing and they don't dance. They always complain, boo, 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 boo. They have nothing good to say about anything. You know, I don't know what we should do with those kind of people, but we suggested yesterday, put them on a boat, you know, all of them together. Let them stay in an island. Make sure there's lots of crocodiles and sharks around. And let them work everything out themselves. Always complaining. Yeah. My dad, he was a good dad, but he worked at a factory, and where he worked, people were always complaining. So he used to complain to us about them always complaining. But it's true, people complain. They don't count their blessings. On the first walk that I did across Canada, I actually walked through Chatham. It's mentioned in the bio, right? You read it, right? Bio. And my school teacher from high school, her name is Mrs. Dietrich. It's a German name. And she was English teacher. So she saw the article in the paper. I got on the front page of the newspaper where I was born. So I was, Haribo, I was happy. And Going Down Memory Lane is the title. So she came out and she's, John, that was my name. And we gave a big hug. Like, you know, you don't do that in school. But now I'm an adult and she's an adult, so what's the big deal? By the way, I am a sannyasi. I do hug ladies sometimes. So you can curse me if you like. But some people, especially, let's say, New Age people, Western women, want it, they expect. And they'll almost reject you and your whole culture if you don't show some kindness. You know, that's true. So anyways, we were talking to Mrs. Dietrich, and we were just talking about the nature of the world. And we ended up on the note of, we have to count our blessings, okay? Now, on that same walk, I went to a place in London, Ontario. We have London in Canada. And when I had my support person, he was from the UK, and he would be driving, you know. I said, this, in an English accent, this is just like London. In fact, it's better than London in the UK. Okay. So anyways, we met up with a Sharma family. And, you know, because talking about ideal family life, I'm staying on the topic. You know, I'm not deviating. Okay. So I noticed that Mrs. Sharma was not smiling. And it's very hard to find people from India who don't smile. It's true. And so Mr. Sharma was okay about it. And he said, Swamiji, do you think you could talk to my wife? She's going through some things. I said, I don't have a problem, but you sit there with us, okay? And so we just went through a simple exercise. And I just want to ask her a few questions. And I had two categories, you know, good or bad, you know. So I asked her, so you're from India, and do you like your mother country? She was like this, yes. And you moved to Canada. Do you like Canada? She, yes. And is your husband nice to you? Yes. And how are the children? Are they healthy and strong? They had 2 kids. Yes. And it just went on and on. It was like, you tick the marks, all positive, positive, positive. And in the midway through, she went, this is fun. So, you just have to count your blessings. 1, 2, 3, 4. We count. We do that. That's our culture, Sankhya Yoga. 24 elements count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eyes, nose, this, that, We're counting all the time. Sankhya, it means to count, Prabhupada said, So you count all your blessings, and they really are blessings. We tend to count. If I count all the freckles on this banana, at least I'll be busy. The spots on the banana. 1, 2, okay. So we have to keep ourselves busy, We have 9 processes of devotional service. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandam, Dasyam, Sakyamatmani, Vedanam. And yesterday we initiated Dr. Sushil Panwar, who's now Shakshi Gopal. He was here. Oh, he's there. Haribol, Chai. And we asked you to chant how many rounds? 16 rounds, right. And then there are 4 serious, I like to say it like Dracula, regulative principles. 4 regular, we're counting all the time. And we have 7 purposes of ISKCON. We're always looking at numbers, right? Numbers are important, So some people have lots of children. They have a hard time keeping track of them. Now, again, getting back to that, it's time that we get back into big families. I hate to say that. There's a hate against children. We have a Canadian author, Gardner, and he wrote a book this thick about the war against the family. And it's serious. It's intentional. Less babies, and because when you have a family, you have to learn the culture of sharing. Like when I grew up, I'm a baby boomer. I came after the war. And so I was the oldest. Yes, Hare Krishna. And I'd have a shirt, and that shirt would be handed down to my brother. And then like that, And in those days, boys wore boys' clothes and girls wore girls' clothes. I have to mention that, There was no cross-dressing. Yeah, and, so you share. When you have family, you learn how to share. And my parents, we all liked each other, like brothers and sisters. We helped each other. We helped our parents. We did chores. We were the workforce, in a sense. We didn't struggle majorly. And I think life was a little more simple then. Now everything costs so much more. But if you're wise with your time and wise with your money, things that don't teach you in school, then you can get wonderful things can happen. The real fruit of a family is the children. You do anything for them, right? Do you think we'll have a chance to show Stellar Dad? Yeah, maybe. Okay. I'm just talking, I believe in old school values. I'm an old school value guy. Because the experimentations of today, I'll put it in plain English, ain't working out. It's just not working out. So therefore, since there's a whole chapter devoted to this and more later on about ideal family living, let's get back to the family values instead of me values. This is one of the biggest culprits. I don't need to talk to my brothers and sisters and my parents. I have my baby here. We're so much in love with this thing. And of course, it is our office. You can't manage without it. It's designed that way, But it's been seen more and more that people are losing their social skills. They don't know how to. When I was young, there was a time when boys would chase after girls and girls after boys. But now, I'm not chasing anybody. I got a screen, So these are things to think about. Ideal family life. Well, everybody needs appliances. Everyone needs gadgets and gizmos, and you need so many things. You need, if you're building a house or maintaining a, you need tools. You need them. But we also need each other. We need to learn how to communicate a little better with each other. Eye-to-eye contact. How often is it that we're talking to somebody? Yeah, Prabhu, how was it at school today? Yeah, okay. So you didn't have such a good time. You got bullied at the schoolyard. I'm not even looking at him, And the eyes. One thing is about when you look at the eyes of a person, you're seeing the soul of the person, right? It's the best reflection of the Atma. So if we don't have eye contact, then there's a problem there. Now, there is a problem too when I come to India, and there's like a tourist, local people, especially in the villages, they go, so know when to stop looking, I had one godbrother, and he was, didn't have a place to stay. He was just walking, doing his japa and so on, and he had to deal with the call of nature. And so the kids are going behind the bushes and looking. A white man does his thing. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So anyway, this is a beautiful chapter that Prabhupada has put in here some key verses for us to take note of. One is the source of everything, fatherhood. One is what is real renunciation? What do you do about that? Another shloka here from Bhagavad Gita is about how we sustain ourselves. So this is all really good material. Some of the best shlokas you're going to ever learn in your Krishna consciousness is right here in this purport. So it's really nice. Okay, so I'm not sure, what time is it right now? Okay, is it a good time to show? Okay, so as was mentioned in the bio, I have myself and Anutama, the ISKCON Communications Director. We started up this men's group because the ladies in ISKCON were having Vaishnavi retreats, but there were no retreats for the guys. So we started something called Mantra. All right? And for this last year, usually it's held in September, which is a fantastic. If you're ever coming to North America, come in September. It's the best month to walk and to be outside. The bugs are practically dead then. You know how I love bugs. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're just going to show you a music video that myself and two other devotees put together, and it's about fatherhood. And we're through the mantra retreat, we're just trying to help men, transition, young single men transition into, being a responsible partner, father, husband, all that kind of stuff. Because Bollywood and Hollywood they try to define what manhood is, just like they do with womanhood. And it's all about flirtatiousness, it's all about, that person looks good and we'll be together for one night, right? That kind of nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And it started in the 60s with 007. This is the guy who goes around and he's debonair and he's with different ladies. There's never any kids. It's very superficial. We don't want that. We don't want to follow the big stars. They're the worst examples. Really, they are. Whoever your big Hollywood figures are, they horse around all the time. They're having parties. Am I right about that? And every woman wants a good man, and every man wants a good woman. Isn't it? Okay? Now, For those of you who are brahmacharis, I see some brahmacharis wondering why I'm talking about these things. It's because this is part of life. And if you're satisfied, you don't need another person. Hari bol. That's all I can say. It means you've already done it before. All right. So we're going to look at this. Is this in the way? Is this thing in the way? Should I move it? No, don't put it on yet. Can I move it? Okay. So this is just about 4 minutes long. And I wrote the poem. It's called Stellar Dad. You know, a proper father. You know, because we're talking motherhood, fatherhood, and so on like that. So we hope you enjoy it, okay? Chai. And those who enjoy it the most, I'll give you a banana. Lights. Okay. This is one of the music videos we put out just recently, and I did it for the mantra retreat of this year. Okay, good. Volume. Volume. Volume.
Names that address the one we know as Father. The person who's the most kind to your mother. Since childhood, he is your hero like no other. The one to run to with his strong open arms. Hoisting you to greater heights when released from his palms. He offers you that fun, bumpy, horsey ride, and insists you take to the swing endless slide. To mount the tricycle, dribble the ball, strike with the bat. He listens to your woes over a good-hearted chat. When toys are needed, he becomes the supplier. He works hard to be that able provider. Papa, Peter, Bear, Padre, Father, names that address the one we know as Father. The person who's the most kind to your mother. Since childhood, he's your hero like no other. He welcomes you to the wild, both harsh and tender, exploring and exhilarating and raw adventure. A teacher, a guide, a coach and cheerleader. When things go bitter, his advice makes them sweeter. Through challenges, he pushes to the very edge. Like a young bird's growth when it's about to fledge. A person of heart, a person of muscle, making that difference with every little rustle. Those facial whiskers, something to notice, are a symbol of greatness, a special bonus. He's a rooster, a bun, a bug, a dream. He'll be the first to save you when life is at stake. A maker, a fixer, a breaker, all in one. After that first round, it's a cycle until he's done.
Hare Krishna. So we're on topic, ideal family life, you know, and okay, we can do. Is that okay? But was it all right? Production? Is it in keeping with our topic? Okay, great. So now we'll do one more for you. It's short enough. And it's called Every Guy, and it was filmed in Toronto, where I live. And basically, if you look at the poetry, it's telling every young man what you have to do. And that is, you have to accept yeah. Okay, and that's it. Then we'll go for your questions, okay? So based on the poem, we've got made it.
Every guy must build his own fences. Every guy must build his own fences. Declare war on the attack of the senses. From this arises a freedom, not without pain. We are talking about the golden practice of standing up. Every
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. So the idea, the message is pretty clear. Take up austerity, do some tapasya, do some sacrifice, and then you'll be, strong enough to handle the challenges of the world, right? So that's the message. It's pretty clear. Good. So now we'll just, do we have time for some questions? Do we? Any questions? Any at all? Or are we just hungry? Okay, Prabhu, over here. The microphone has to go over there.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for the lecture and the presentation. So my question is that when we go out there preaching, sometimes not direct preaching, at workplace, around us, our colleagues knows that, okay, we are Hare Krishnas. So they know that we do something very spiritual and they are aware. Sometimes they look forward that they want something from us, like some advice, something.
Yes.
And in return, we always feel like, okay, what I can give, I can't directly ask him to chant Hare Krishna, follow Hare Krishna, right? We want to give very basic, something that can change in their life. First thing comes to the mind that all they are doing is a sense gratification.
Yeah.
Right? And we ask them to, now we cannot ask, don't eat this, don't eat that, right? The question comes to mind, what kind of austerity we can ask? We can't ask directly to chant, we can't ask to give up the meat eating and all those stuff. What can we ask them in a form of austerity which will try to control their senses? What can we say in such moments?
Good question. I think one of the best things to do is bring with you some sweets that are offered to your deities, right? And it starts with the tongue. The way to a man's heart is through the stomach. Is that true? Yeah? So that's true for men and women. That's a practical way to go about it, and from that you build friendship, and then you start talking out, why did they talk to you in the first place? Because you're a happy person, you're kind of together, you're self-satisfied, there's a little bit of a atmarama there. Just like there's one lady that I gave Diksha to, she's in Cleveland, and she was working at a company where it's mostly men, younger men, and she's like middle-aged, So because she's a devotee, they could see strength in her, And they would, one by one, they come and they're asked questions. They're trying to get some strength from her, And of course, she can only say so much, but if somebody's really interested, they'll ask. I'm not bad. I'm jinxed today with this microphone. They'll get to understand little by little. You have to spoon feed everybody, just like with a baby. You can't shovel, food into their mouth or take a wheelbarrow. You have a little baby, open your mouth and take a wheelbarrow, and it has to be simple, spoon-fed. Everyone's different. Every case is unique and on its own. You can't say there's one formula for all, but it's based on kindness. And I would suggest, don't be a fanatic. You could be a fun addict. You could have fun and be addicted to fun, but do not be a fanatic. Don't. I wouldn't suggest telling tales about the Yamadutas. In the beginning, at least. Is that okay? You deserve a prasadam. Is that okay? Is it okay if I can throw? Woo! Cricket lead. Any other questions? Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. When we start our life, first 20-25 years, we are doing a scriptural study and decide that we are doing the material studies to get into this material life.
Right.
That time we are not very clear, like some of the brahmachari, they have been clear, but most of us are not clear that what is exactly suited, and most of us we enter into Garastha life. And then the actual real life challenge becomes like balancing between the material world, then our Vedic way of living. So that time its frustrations comes that whether we have done the right thing in getting into Garhastha. And by the time you grow old, like of my age, still it is become very difficult to come out of the situations. You have some of the back of mind that probably I would have been done something different, not entering into it. So those are the kind of dilemma many of the people are facing it. So how to handle it? Of course, from the videos you showed it, but it's only showed the good part of it. But real life is quite different.
Happy daddies throwing their kids in the air. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So how to respond to that is, well, let's be realistic. Krishna makes it very clear in the Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. It's not all just a bowl of roses in Krishna consciousness. Let's be real about the world. Right in the beginning, Krishna talked Matra Swarshastakonteya, the dualities of life. So learn about it in the beginning. Learn what life is all about. It's not just about having fun, but it's also about doing work, and sacrificing and contributing and working together. Those are the strongest messages that we can give. And as far as having some regrets about what we've done in our life, whatever has happened, and you can't change the past, Chanakya Pandit states. You can't buy, even though you have lots of money, Elon Musk, you can't buy back anything from the past. You have to live with what you have now. And live according to your dharma, do the best you can in that regard. Don't have major regrets. Don't dwell in the past too much. Don't dwell in the future too much, but think about now. I am here. I'm a servant of the Lord. I'm a citizen of this place called planet Earth, and I want to contribute something nice, and to give. There's no better feeling than giving, right? As opposed to taking. So the practice of giving is what's important. And if you're doing that sufficiently, you should be relatively happy with yourself. Everyone should be sitting on their rocking chair. You're sitting in the rocking chair with your wife next to you. Oh, well, Molly, we raised the kids. They're all got good families. So you don't have any teeth left. And we did the best we could, didn't we? Okay? That's count your blessings. Count the blessings. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, if you take two, then you can be a walrus. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for your very wonderful and most enthusiastic class. Please accept my humble obeisances at the Lotus feet.
Please accept my humble obeisances.
So Maharaj mentioned about fanatism. So what is the thin line between sincerity and fanatism? Sometimes we neophytes like to misunderstand sincerity with fanatism and fanatism with sincerity. So what is that thin line?
What is the clean line between fanaticism and being sincere? Well, you should be, if you can't gauge it yourself, that's why everyone should have in their life a guide, a guru, a mentor. When I say guru, like people got Diksha gurus, but they're on another planet. They're on another side of the world, so, but what we need is, someone locally that is taking interest in your life, like an aunt or an uncle type person, or just, a big sister type, everybody needs that in their life. Don't try to do everything solo on your own. You'll fail. but you've got to have those, the big brother concept. It has to be there in your life, And so that person can help gauge a little better if you're struggling with, am I doing okay? Am I crazy? Am I what? So fanatical, sometimes fanatics are hard on other people, but it's the best policy is to be a little hard on yourself and soft on others. Automatically, they will be inspired by your being strong on yourself. Is that okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Sorry.
Maharaj, I have one more question.
One more, is that fair? Should we let her have another question? Okay. Since you'll get another one.
I have been observing you from last year and yesterday and today. So you are super enthusiastic and your enthusiasm is so much contagious. So how you are like super enthusiastic? Please, could you please share?
Well, I mentioned, like my father, he was always quite upbeat, so I learned a lot from him. And also, Prabhupada was also very enthusiastic always. And he was always upbeat. And there's two ways to be in life, upbeat or beat up. And it's your choice. It's left in your hands.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Anybody else? Sí, señor.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Well, please accept my humble obeisances 1,000,000 times over.
Maharaj ji, my question is that when we are in association, it's very easy to make our fences and we follow all the things very nicely. But when we are not in association, when we are somewhere outside, then it's very difficult. Sometimes it so happens that there comes a little spike of anger, spike of lust, greed. So at that particular point of time, how to tackle that situation? That is my question.
You have one of these. Call your friend, or call your guru, or call your father, your mother, or somebody that enthuses you in Krishna consciousness. That's all it is. Sangha. Get Sangha right away. Instant Sangha through this thing. Just use it. And in this way, you can overcome some of the challenges. Yeah, just reach out to someone. You can also offer a prayer to Krishna, do Vandanam. Krishna's in your heart. He knows what you're going through. So Krishna, can you please help me through this weak moment? Help me right now. Always ask for help. There's no problem with that. But if you just want to think, I'm going to do it on my own, reach out. Reach out. Just grab your arm. Reach. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have a brew in the background. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
But now in India, when we are preaching in villages, so people are very receptive. They welcome sadhus and they give a lot of facilities also. But when you are like on the way on the road, Canada or America, when you are walking, so what is your experience how people receive you? Means whether they, what is your experience when you go to different villages?
Well, like monks have a fairly good reputation, and especially this color, because there's been a lot of movies out there about kung fu masters, and they're usually in this color, Buddhists. And so I think people are receptive. They genuinely are. And like people will pull over. Usually men pull over a little bit more than women, naturally. And they'll say, so I heard you're walking across the country. Well, what's all that about? Well, I wish I could do that. But I got to go to work. And, the whole idea is that it's romanticized, the fact that you're walking across the country, you're meeting all kinds of people, meeting wildlife and, grizzly bears and moose and all these things, getting a chance to swim in a lake when it's hot, or, just to take a nap behind a rock, So much freedom is there. And people admire that very much. Yeah. On the last walk that I did across Canada, I was with a support guy, and he had with him a blue friend Amazon parrot that talked. So in these little towns and villages, people are, oh, there's a monk coming into town. Oh, something good is going to happen. Oh, and he's got a parrot, and the parrot talks, and the parrot owner looks like a pirate. Oh my God, what's happening to our town? So it's a little bit like that, You have to be, if you do these long walks, you have to be very relatable to the people. And you have to give them a good experience. I'll tell you another quick story, which we told to the group yesterday. I was in Toledo, Ohio, and that's in the United States. And I was walking over a bridge that arched over the interstate highway. And there were a couple of African-American young men that were on the other side of the bridge, and we met kind of in the middle. And they were munching on popcorn, buttered popcorn. And the one guy says, "Hey man, are you a monk?" I said, "Well, yes, I am. Can you teach me how to fat?" And I said, "Well, I have people who teach martial arts, and I'm not one of those persons. We teach kind of more of a gentle culture, And that if there's some confrontation, difficulty between one person and another, we try to reason. We use wisdom to try to squelch or subdue the agitation. And if the wisdom if it fails, then you can use the weapon. So first try wisdom, and then do weapon. And I was able to give him something to think about. And the guy says, "Hey man, that's so cool." So, we got a lot of media attention, so people would know we were getting into the schools. In the schools, like all, say 12 grades in these country places, it's not that many kids, it's big, wide open prairies. And my support guy would go with the talking parrot to the principal's office and say, "Oh yeah, you're with the walking monk. Oh yeah, have him come in. When can he come? Today, tomorrow? Yeah, I'll have all the teachers, we'll announce it. We'll have him come in the gymnasium, and we'll have all the kids from the grades 1 to 12 come together." So we were a sensation, in 3 provinces we managed like that. Yeah, it was great. Really, I wish I could be out there, but I had to change my knees. I wore them down too much. Anyways, what to do? Yes. We'll ask one of the ladies, then we're going to. Yes. Oh, by the way. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So I just wanted to ask, it is just about me, what I'm going through right now. So I'm just asking about one of the experiences that I'm facing in life. So there are many positive things in my life, but there's one negative thing, and even when I'm chanting, my mind goes towards the negative thing. So
we've got a video for you. Yeah, the mind, you're asking about the mind. It's racing all over. What to do about the mind? Is that what your question?
Positive thing, like you said, that you should check the positive things in your
Yeah.
life. But there are many positive things by God's grace, but only one negative thing, my mind goes towards it always. Even when I'm chanting, that negative thing comes in my mind. So what would you suggest?
Let's celebrate that you're normal. Okay, sometimes people come in and ask me, like, so say a young man, "Maharaj, everything's going okay, but I have problems with lust." I said, oh, you got lust? Haribol, you're normal. Okay? So don't freak out about it. That's all I can say. Just like if you have a little kid, you look, you're babysitting, and the kid goes here and there, you don't say, oh, it's such a problem. Well, that's just the way kids are. The nature of the mind is to be all over the place. So basically, Krishna was telling Arjuna, who was freaking out, that keep calm and carry on. Like in the Second World War, there was a mantra that was going out there by Winston Churchill, keep calm and carry on. So just don't take it too personally or too seriously. Just grab a hold of that mantra and just keep at it. It's a fight. So let it be a good one. Okay? Everyone likes a good fight. Right? Okay. Prabhu then, yeah.
Maharaj, I just want to share what comes to my mind very often. When at home you are following so many things in the Vedic culture, when you are invited by friends or somebody to your in their family, and then you say that we eat only sattvic food. Of course, it is vegetarian. We eat sattvic food without onion, garlic.
Yes.
Of course, it's vegetarian. But sometimes they feel that we are something different and we don't want to associate with them. And next time they feel that these people should not be invited. So you will start losing good friends also. So these are small things, nagging things help
Yes.
to what should I do accordingly, because I want to have good, they are good people.
Yes.
They are good at heart. And they listen to us also because they see the way we practice and the way we, I saw that energy level in you and all that positiveness, that all we build up ourselves and I understand that. But basically, how do we gel with them accordingly in that situation?
Well, when I joined the movement, I lost some friends, but I made more.
Yes, you do make.
So you're not going to be able to keep all of the people happy all of the time. It says that, well, if we were coming to our house, we want steak dinner. Yeah, you just can't compromise with that. No, please come there. We'll have pizza. And it'll be damn good pizza. And then you can tell them it's offered to Krishna. And they might like it, And if they want a little bit of, the onion thing, throw a little more hing on there. And some black salt.
Maharaj,
just know the art.
It's the other way. They will eat what we offer.
They what?
That is not their problem. When they invite us and we say that we don't eat this, we don't eat that,
I see.
that is the problem.
That is the problem. So you have to be upfront about it and let them know, yeah, we have vows, we have some, we love to be with you. The only thing is that there's certain restrictions that we honor if you're okay with that. You just say, if you're okay with that. And say, yeah, well, you tell us what is it you want and I'll cook it for you.
Thank you.
Okay, and they just communicate.
Thank you.
Oh. Whoa.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji. When we are doing chanting in home, so we get a lot of negative, thoughts while doing chanting.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are doing chanting in the temple, so we will get lots of positive vibes. Why this is happening?
Oh, because the atmosphere, the ambiance. Because the ambiance in the temple is such that it's very conducive for spirituality, right? And at the home, it's love. This is my usual place. This is where I sleep. This is where I burp. This is where I pass stool. So we get very familiar with your own place, But what we have to do is to learn the art of keeping Krishna in the center of your life, regardless of where you are. You know, at the marketplace, at the workplace, maybe you're one of those guys and you're building one of those high-rise, low-conscious buildings, you know, a skyscraper. Somehow or other you have to keep Krishna in your mind, you know. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this for my family. Well, who is my family? They belong to Krishna. Everything boils down to Krishna. Bring everything to the point of Krishna, and then everything goes a lot easier. Is that okay?
Yes.
This knob. Okay. Be careful with the knob.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Accept my humble obeisances.
Accept my humble obeisances.
My question is that when we are in association with devotees,
And when we are
in association
association,
with devotees, sometimes we offend them, but they don't tell us that we offend them, and they live with us friendly, but they somehow they remember our offense. So how to get rid of these offenses?
well, if you're feeling that someone's offended by you, you can just be upfront and say, I feel maybe I offended you. Is there anything, I can do to make up for it? Can let me know what it is, because you're my very dear friend. I don't want to lose you as a friend. And so can we talk about it? Is that okay? Here's a nice bench. There's nice pomegranates here. And the birds are flittering. So just make an arrangement to get the dialogue going, right? To try not to be too shy about encouraging the dialogue. Okay? Oh, this is an easy one. There's a cancer, like a microphone cancer around here. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Even though I properly follow sincerely following the devotional services, even though I still develop some material attachment, so how I can overcome?
Overcome the material attachments?
Yes, and develop the spiritual attachment towards Krishna.
Well, just try to dovetail everything in Krishna's service. Like one young man came to me, he said, so, I have a problem with lust. I said, well, why don't you just get married? That's the solution to the problem. Channel, direct, dovetail. Those are the terms that Prabhupada used, I mean, if you have sort of desires and also contempt, like, that's why we're here in this world. Itchadvisha samutena dvandva mohina bharata. We're here because we have desires and because we have hatreds. So some or other start desiring the right things and also hate the negative things, So does that make any sense? Hate, and love. Okay, that might help. Use that formula. Okay, I mean, there's always going to be hankerings in this world. That's what we're made up of. We're made up of desires. If you don't have a desire, you're a dead man. So better you have desires, But you have to know how to deal with those desires. Okay, a young man like this guy here said, I like that car, man. But you're not going to get it right away. You have to work like an ass to get it. So maybe you can settle for something less expensive, Use your intelligence, You just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you shouldn't use your brain. We have to use our brain. Is that okay? Still, okay. Oh, this is my ideal family. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
How to
Prabhu.
deal with the desire of asking question but not getting a question?
But not getting question. Well, I would just say desire, and usually desires produce something, some fruit will come about. And just keep wanting, and something will come out.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Okay, here you go. Jai Ho. Shit.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, can you please share any of your experience during your walking? Last time when you came, you shared your experience with beer. So any other experience?
With beer?
Yeah.
Beer? I had experience. People offered me beer, and I said no, thanks. Well, I mean, experience. You want something like that? I had 2 bear experiences. The first, the one that was more serious was a black bear, and it's a female bear, a little smaller than a grizzly bear, right? So first of all, and I didn't do anything with it, there was this biker. He was in like black leather jacket, and he stopped where I was walking with a brahmachari from Cuba. We had the same clothes, color clothes on. He said, "I'm warning you guys." And we were wondering, what did we do? "I'm warning you guys." I came from that direction, and there was this bear chasing me, keeping up with my high-speed motorbike. And finally, that bear left me alone. So you're walking into that area. I'm warning you guys. So then he took off, and we kept walking. And so we saw, does this happen every day, or am I just cursed? Haribol. Okay. And so we saw the bear. The bear was munching on wild strawberries in the ditch, right by the side of the road. And we were looking down at the bear, and the bear was eating just like anything. Now, we didn't know that the bear was here as mother bear. We're standing here, and their 3 cubs are over here. We didn't know about the 3 cubs till after. So she's looking at us. She goes, and then we took off. But, she was so busy with her food, she didn't bother with us so much, And, so when you're doing these long walks and you're walking in territories where there's wild animals, you have to know how to deal with them. They're all a little different. About bears, they have this saying about bears. If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, as in a grizzly, lie down. If it's white, good night. It's true. If you're with a polar bear, you're dead. You're dead. Just namaste and Narsingaya. Oh yeah. So did everyone get one that asked a question? Any more? That we're doing good. Yes, bro. We have to appreciate all the questions.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, can you share some of your interaction or meeting with Srila Prabhupada?
I never talked to Srila Prabhupada. I was a shy brahmachari. And there were a lot of devotees always around Prabhupada, senior to me. And they were Americans. So they had a lot of confidence, and I was shy. So I heard Prabhupada's classes. I heard several of them. One thing that sticks in my mind, there was a Sunday feast class in Detroit. And I was sitting rather close, kind of like where you are, and you were sitting. And I was very tired. I worked so hard doing seva. Has anybody ever worked hard doing seva? Have you ever had that experience? No? And just like on the way here, I was very tired. So anyways, I was so tired. And then at the end, I remember him going like this, "Do not be proud." And that's the only thing that I absorbed, what he said at the end. And I think that that is something that I always have to be reminded of. Do not be proud. There was another time we were in Chicago, and Prabhupada was, walking with the devotees, and they came to the end of the park. They wanted to take a picture of Vishaka, Devidasi, she wanted to take a picture of Prabhupada, so Prabhupada had a gray chadar on. And Brahmananda Swami at the time, he was trying to fix the folds. Another devotee was trying to fix, Prabhupada asked him, Prabhupada stand a little bit like this, and Vishaka came in. And there was so much fuss about it, and he stood there. He said, "I'm going to stand like this. You cannot satisfy all of the people all of the time." And he gave a big smile. Okay? So that's a lesson to learn. You can't satisfy all of the people all of the time. Don't try. Can't even satisfy yourself all of the time. Is that okay? Swaha. Is that okay? Any more questions? I can stay here all day if you like, but I think we're having to go somewhere. Is that right? Okay. Prabhus, thank you very much. We hope to see you again in the future. If you're ever walking to Canada somewhere, please stop and visit me, okay? Who doesn't want a banana? I've got the... All right. I think we got some left over. Anything else, Bruce?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we are very grateful to the Maharaj. He has wonderful, we can see the humor which is expressing in the lectures. And Maharaj is famous for organizing the dramas. In one of the dramas we have seen Mr. Puri. So this was the famous drama which was enacted in Mayapur. And we have seen that. And there are many so much dramas like this, and we are grateful to Maharaj because he is bringing all the background people together and encouraging them and engaging them, at the same time inspiring them in the devotion. So now also we can see how Maharaj has interacted with all the devotees here, and we have so many questions with the devotees here. Practically we can see, otherwise we don't see many questions. So we are grateful to Maharaj for inspiring all the devotees here coming to Kunj Bihari. I'd like to thank Maharaj by chanting one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki. Maharaj, you'd like to introduce about this book?
Yes, I wrote a book about the walking experiences. It's called The Saffron Path, and it's available. I think it's on a table somewhere, and I'd be willing to sign.
So devotees can come and take the book. So Maharaj has all his realizations there. You can come, and Maharaj will sign personally. Hare Krishna.